store almost every day waiting for maybe like a secret release to happen because I'm impatient and I really wanted the game, and I was just really hopeful that would happen even though it's really stupid. Hello interwebs and welcome back. I'm Shanna and this is where I share my life and stories and adventures and opinions and whatever else I feel like. And if you're wondering, why do you look so tired? It's because I am. I literally been at work all day, just got home and was like, I have to film this because today was amazingly exciting, even though I'm still waiting.
I ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Anyway, so for those of you who may or may not remember, over a year ago, November 2017, I made a video announcing Niantic's announcement about the new Harry Potter Wizards Unite game, and we have patiently been waiting since then for its release. Several weeks ago, they released the game in Australia and New Zealand for testing, and I don't know about you guys, but I was just refreshing the App Store almost every day waiting for maybe like a secret release to happen because I'm impatient and I really wanted the game, and I was just really hopeful that would happen even though it's really stupid. Anyway, obviously that didn't happen, but then when they started announcing the special event at Universal Studios and all this information was coming out on Twitter, I of course was refreshing it like every hour, just being hopeful. And then even when they announced that there would be a worldwide rollout starting in the UK and America on June 21st, I continued to refresh, hoping that maybe, just maybe, it would come out sooner. And this morning, it finally happened. After hitting snooze a million times on my alarm and rolling out of bed and going to the bathroom like I always do first thing in the morning, I was checking my phone and I was like, let me check the App Store. And lo and behold, the game was there. Now, of course, A, I was in the bathroom, B, I couldn't find my camera, C, it was like 5:30, 5:45 in the morning, and D, I just did not film it, but I did screen record it. So let's take a look at what the gameplay looks like starting off when you first log into the game, set up your account, etc. And just know that I did happy cry. Like, legitimately happy cry. And if the audio got caught while I was screen recording, you will hear that. So let's go ahead and take a look. So after agreeing to the terms of service and loading, I realized I did not have the volume on, so we turned it on. Then you have to input your birthday, and we've gotten to that point where I now have to scroll pretty far back to get to my birth year, and I don't know how I feel about that, but it is what it is. Next, it's time to log in. You can use Facebook or Google to create an account, and I'm just gonna kind of skip over that because I don't want you guys to see my login information. It's not that I don't love you, but I'm just trying to be safe. Then you have to agree to all of the terms of service, notifications, all of that jazz, which is typical with any game that you're going to be playing on your phone. So do that so that way you can play. And then if you want to agree to the email permissions, you can do that as well. I did because I want to make sure I'm always up to date on the game. So it begins.
Not since the dark times has anyone disappeared.
I mean, just in my opinion, that was a pretty badass freaking introduction. Now, what I want to know is, why is it some random ass owl here? Why not Hedwig? I don't understand. Now, at the time, I didn't know if the game maps would be available, but I kind of figured it would be a lot like Pokemon Go, where because I had the American App Store, I could download the game, but I couldn't actually play because they didn't have the servers available in Japan yet. But I figured, why not go ahead and run through the tutorial anyway, so let's continue on with that. So first you have to input your name, which I was a little bit indecisive about. Like, should I use my real first name and last name? Should I use, my Shanna Lee? What should I do? And I was, trying to decide, and then I read that you could change it later. So I was like, oh, I'll just use my first name and last name. But then I actually ended up going back in and changing it to Shanna Lee Hagwood, and not just Shanna Hagwood or Shanna Lee. Next, it's time to create that user ID, basically. And of course, I'm gonna use Shanna Lee. Why wouldn't I? That's my thing.
Oh, there you are. Thank goodness. Hello, I'm Constance Pickering. I work with Hermione Granger on the Statute of Secrecy Task Force. We've been charged with containing this disastrous calamity. This calamity is, well, quite calamitous. Everything that anyone has ever feared, revered, or held dear in the wizarding world, people, things, even memories, have been stolen and displaced, tossed about across the world. We've got to return what is lost, and quickly.
Oops, I didn't mean to do
Hello.
that.
Thanks for volunteering your help to the Ministry. I'm Harry Potter. Let's get started. The Ministry have provided you a brilliant map designed to help find the missing objects. Magical Me there indicates your position in the world. Magic always leaves traces. It indicates the location of a foundable left by magic, causing this calamity and risking the Statute of Secrecy. Foundables are what we're calling the things that are missing.
Tap on the trace in order to return this foundable. Of course I'm gonna allow camera permission. What are you talking about? And it was at this point that I think I literally started screaming, but I don't think the mic was recording, so yeah.
First, you'll need to search the ground to locate the foundable. Stay alert and make sure you have plenty of light to see.
I was also apologizing here because I'd kind of just woken up and all those things were, pillows from my bed that I hadn't made yet, and yeah. I got super excited when I saw
Hagrid is trapped. Barriers like this web have been manifested by a rather chaotic magic. We call these confoundables. If you can manage to remove that web, the chaotic magic will immediately return Hagrid back to his rightful place.
And it was about this point that I decided I wanted to try and find my camera because it was really important that you saw how excited I was and how I was crying and all that jazz and just me being sleepy, but couldn't find it. And whatever, because the actual game itself is what's more important. Here's the game point.
The threat meter measures how likely a foundable is to expose the wizarding world, thereby breaking the Statute of Secrecy. The greater the threat, the harder it will be to remove the confoundable.
To cast a spell at the confoundable, use your finger to trace the glyph on the screen. Accuracy and speed make your spell stronger. Great! Defendo! Returned. You overpowered the confoundable. Rubius Hagrid has been returned.
Well done. Now that you've returned Hagrid to where he belongs, you should make note of it in the registry.
The registry is a listing of all the missing foundables known to the Ministry. Everything that has been reported missing can be found here. Exploration. As you return foundables to their appropriate time and place, you'll mark progress by adding their image to your registry. Why don't you place Hagrid's image now?
So then you just tap good old Hagrid and ta-da! Look at little Hagrid there. Well, not so little. He's not so little at all, but, you know. Half-giant, gamekeeper, and professor of Magical creatures, Rubius Haggard has an affinity for tea, gardening, and magical creatures, especially the extremely dangerous variety. He is rarely seen without the faithful boarhound, Fang, by his side.
You can return to the registry at any time to see which foundables you've returned and which ones are still missing.
You'll note that the trace icons on your map correspond to a matching set of exploration collectibles in your registry. Try locating and returning another foundable, which I will not be able to do yet. And that leaves us where we are now, in Japan, waiting for the game to officially drop and those servers to be turned on. I'm really hopeful that they don't make us wait as long as they did for Pokemon Go, because that was horrible and rude, especially because Pokemon started in Japan. But it is what it is. We are now on to Wizards Unite, and I'm really hopeful that maybe this weekend they'll have those servers up and going. But regardless, if you are in Japan, if you are anywhere in the world really, and you have access to the UK or the American App Store, you can now download the Harry Potter Wizards Unite game, and if you are in either of those places and you can play, I am jealous. So, keep an eye out for my next video where I will be sharing with you the professions and which one you should choose. Until then, that pretty much wraps it up for this one. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, let me know down in the comments below what you thought. Let me know what you're excited about, and if you don't know what to leave in the comments, just drop some emojis because it lets me know that you are here, and it also really helps my videos. So thank you so much guys, and I will see you next time. Bye!